Is this working? Okay, it should work. Anyway, hello everybody. I hope you guys had a great day full of amazing talks so far. Today I'm going to show you and tell you how to improve your crypto Twitter game, how to get like better timeline of crypto Twitter so that you can guys learn more from your game from your timeline as well. And this talk will be purely focused on like how to navigate the space from like the content perspective, how to figure out and find better genuine builders in the space. But I would like to try to focus telling this story through like my personal experience of somebody who's been deeply involved in this space. I'm sorry, I don't know why this is making noise. Yes. Sorry. Okay, this is better. Perfect, thank you. So anyway, this will be like a pure story from somebody who's been deeply involved in the space for past like 5, almost 6 years, which makes me feel a little bit old, to be honest. But yeah, anyway. So the way how I discovered Ethereum in the whole industry is through the little Bitcoin ATM, which we had back in the co-working space when I was working as a host. As well as I went to, which the founders of the co-working space invited me later to some DevCon 4 side events. And that's how I started in the space. The space was much smaller back in the days, but that doesn't change the fact how you can still be able to access genuine builders and how you can determine and figure out like which projects are legit, and there is like so much noise in the space itself. But anyway, everybody was very friendly, same as right now. I feel like the space is generally one of the most friendliest out there, and the crypto industry itself feels very friendly, and you can pretty much DM anybody from like founders to even like, you know, each other, community builders, organizers as well. But yeah, that's like the takeaway, that the things has changed a lot in the space. Itself, it is very confusing for like the beginners. If you are entering the crypto space, if this is your first event, the crypto space may sound very confusing and very like disconnected. You know, there is like a DevCon conference, which itself should have a capacity of like 8K people, I think, and there is around 700 side events happening. The reason why is this happening, honestly, if you will see my latest tweet, where I think I cracked the code, is because DevCon organizers did not get enough big venue, and then there's so many projects out there who just wanted to like bring their own community into their own event. So anyway, what's important in this space is being able to figure out how to cut the noise, how to build your own network, discovering builders and projects that will help you thrive in the future and improving your crypto Twitter timeline, which is all what everybody wants, because the Twitter and especially the whole industry can be a little bit, how to say it nicely. Anyway, there's like a lot of paid KOLs and influencers and celebrities, and just like, you know, things can get like dark very fast if you are not careful enough. So that's exactly what I just said, actually. Anyway, building your own network is very important, especially on the Twitter, which gives you a lot of, like, you will become much more legit and much more respected if you build your own network, and if you are very careful about the people and the content that you put out there. So that's why curating your own crypto Twitter timeline is very important. I've built my own myself, and I think I'm one of the few people that spend way too much time on Twitter, which is probably not even good at some point. But anyway, I hope that I will try to give you a lot of advice later on and like people to follow, so you don't have to do the same. But I'm trying to focus my timeline on genuine builders and thought leaders. And all of this has led me to work with many different companies and be where I am, and like, you know, working for 5 years and working with companies such as my previous companies were Hyperlane, Nethermind. I was working with Ethereum magicians until like I burn out. It's still kind of like my baby, but working with Cordas was one of the best experiences I could ever do. And now I'm in loss, and that's all because I try to spend a lot of time on Twitter and try to be very nice and like, shine the positive vibe, because I feel like that's very important. Here's a little guide on how to curate your own crypto Twitter timeline. Feel free to like take a picture of this, don't need to do it now. But the best way how to do it, or like one of the ways how to do it, feel free to go to my follower list on Twitter. The QR code should be my Twitter. By the way, that's one of the best Twitter products that they actually killed, where they used to have a QR code similar as like Telegram, where you can just like scan the profile and it will take you to people. But go to the people that I follow and hit the notification bell button, as that's where you will get a notification every time somebody posted something great, and then you will engage with their content. Also, make sure to go follow all of the speakers of today's conference, as they're amazing, and it's like a full gold mine of the content that you can get from the people that have spoken on this conference before. Do the same with DEF CON as well. Okay, so there is a list of the genuine builders, or like one of the very few people that I highly appreciate, and I feel like those are the builders that deserve to get the highlight. I would say just take a picture and like go follow all of these people, as they are I'm sorry, Nader, that you're not on the list actually. Yeah, the Cordovs are the people that always post like amazing educational content. Developers, Austin, Patrick, DC, as well as the application builders such as like Kevin Owaki, Stani, who was one of the very first builders in the DeFi. Liam has a lot of good takes and artists as well. But it's not only about the individuals, it's also about the builder communities. And the ones that I personally found the most engaging in posting like the best content and having the highest quality of like great builders and great content ratio are those. For the ones that I did not post the handle, are the ones that usually have a Telegram channels or podcast. So definitely go check these out if you did not yet. There are like many others. I don't want to fully like make like a differences between like ones or others, but this talk is focused on like the genuine builders, and I feel like those communities have like the one of them that like if you will go to their like social media, or if you will go to their channels, you will always find like a good content that you can learn from. So as I said, the best way how to step up your crypto Twitter game is to earn the engagement. The best way how to earn the engagement is if you will go to those builders' profiles, hit the notification bell button, and then reply to their tweets, and also post quality content yourself. It's not only about taking the value out, but it's also about giving back the value yourself. So as awesome as it is to always only like retweet, it's better to also reply, but make sure to reply more than like a one-word reply. As also you need to game the Twitter itself algorithm, which kind of sucks. But unfortunately, we got stuck in the momentum where unless you either spend tons of time on Twitter, or unless you have somebody managing your Twitter, or unless you know these basic rules, you need to make sure that your account is growing, because that's how it all works. And and unfortunately, the more followers you have on Twitter, the more you can be respected in the industry. But it also gives you much better opportunity to even like, for example, get hired, because a lot of people, especially in the DevRel industry, a lot of people are hiring based on like how much followers you have on your social media, which is on one side kind of unfortunate, but on another side, I feel like that can be probably legit as well. So the engagement, the best way how to actually create engagement, and the best way how to create the content is, since we are on a conference, live tweet from talks. I know numbers of people that just sit in the front row, live tweet, take a picture from the talks, and then make sure to tag a speaker. And that's the best content that pretty much everybody wants to read on Twitter. Do a threads, do notes, do takeaways. Feel free to even write a blog post or articles on Twitter itself. This is the best way how you guys can write the content on Twitter. I also been working, if you don't go to conferences but you're here, so I'm pretty sure that you will have tons of time to make a good content or to get a good content from the talks that you are attending. I made this unsecurity crypto list, which is pretty much a GitHub repo, which has tons of resources. I've been building it for 6 years right now, and it helped onboard and level up a bunch of people. It also has tons of services for testnet tokens. So if you guys are looking for testnet tokens, go there, and also job boards and a lot of DevRel related content, a lot of articles that I was reading back in 2018 when nobody wanted to really show me where to start, and even people in the co-working space were oh, here's Ethereum, and here's the Bitcoin, and you know what, you should go to medium.com and just read the blog post there. Which was kind of funny, but I was just okay, whatever, I'm just gonna create this list which will help people to learn more about the space itself, and I highly encourage you to do similar thing, as many people DM me were yo, this list inspired me, and I started my own. And especially at the beginning, taking notes and create your own list that you can share with your friends is crucial. So anyway, and all of this that I just said, all of this journey and all of this experience led me to where I am right now. So I'm working at Labs right now, which is semi-stealth, freshly growing startup. We are focused on solving long-term incentives. We also just launched stablecoin, which accumulates, which earns yields, and it helps other ecosystems as well. So if you are building pretty much any project, you should check out Blast, as that enables you for users to earn more yield on your own token. But I don't fully want to get into details because it's very fresh. But I will point you out to 2 accounts, which is Andrews, which is our founder, and also Andy, who both are sharing very good takes on what we're building, and there's a lot of things happening, but you should definitely join Last community as well, as we have a lot of insights into building sustainable ecosystems. And this is the best way how we can learn about Last itself as well. The closing takeaway, what I highly recommend or encourage you all to do is to just make a tweet from this conference, and from whichever talk that you attended today, tag private layers and tag a speaker, and feel free to ask them a question or add a takeaway. It should be definitely the way how you can step up your crypto Twitter game, and to also support the organizer of this conference as well as you will get more engagement on your Twitter itself. The last takeaway that I have for you is that no matter how awesome the space is, it isn't only about building. So Ethereum is not only about building, but it's mainly about connecting. And you guys should, everybody in this room, or everybody in the whole conference, should realize that the Ethereum and we all are building projects towards improving Ethereum itself. So it's all about the connection and coordination of chains. So feel free to just connect together and coordinate, as we are all building the future and value for a long term itself, as the in-person connections are much more important than just earning people's Telegram usernames like Pokemon game. Because to be honest, people probably won't go back to them past like some amount that you know yourself as well. And also the in-person connections are much more important than just literally getting like a Telegram itself. But yeah, that's my takeaway from this. That's my talk itself. Feel free to like reach out to me on Telegram or Twitter. That's my handle. Make sure to follow Last. Check out Last website, and thank you so much, Claire and Damsky, for hosting this conference. I'll see you around the whole week.